Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Spring Season Professionals Tournament Round Robin Day 7 for the NA server. I'll be following Primal today, and we should be up against Void and Rain. So basically, the top 3 of the NA server. So that's going to be highly interesting to watch, I think at least. So let me take away the preview so that you can see the current scoreboard for the second round. Of course, we have more points than that. We currently have Rain with 12 points. We have Primal and Void both with 10 points. Then we have Rain Chaos with 6 points, Pincer with 5, Straight with 4, and Von with 1. And Hated with no points. But, like I said, it is going to be fun tonight. It will also probably, it depends on who meets Rain Chaos, I believe. Let us have a look at who they are up against. They're up against Hated and Straight. And Pincer is the other one that we will be watching for, because they will be competing for the 4th place. And they are up against Straight and then Void. So that's going to be a tough cookie. So basically we are waiting. In about 3 minutes or so the room invite will come. So until then I can take you over the maps that we will be seeing. And we will be starting off today versus Void on Mayan Ruins. Mayan Ruins looks like this. You have base C, which is the med base. Base A, that is the heavy base. And base B is generally you get killed when you go here base. Okay, I was wondering what the notification was. I just lost an avatar in the game. So that is quite useless, but okay. Basically, if I have a heavy tank or a slow tank, I would prefer to go base A here. But if I have anything fast, I prefer to go base C and to just work my way from there. And we've seen quite a few teams basically do exactly that. Focusing half on around the area between A and B, deciding then which one to go, possibly a cheeky early B cap, and always having one or more tanks near base C to just have an overlook to make sure they know who is there and all of that. So that is the first map we're going to go to. The second map we are going to go to is Rockfield. Rockfield looks like this. You have base A, which is considered the heavy base. Base B, that is in the middle. Base C, that is all the way on the right side. There are a lot of places basically where you can go in these maps. Also, you can get a lot of lines of fire into the bases. They are all quite protected in their own way, but they all are open to enemy fire. And base A would be the most protected because we have a bunker there, and with a tank especially a tank with a low profile, you can cap it in relative safely. But at the same time, depending on where the enemy is, you might get stuck there and not be able to do much. Then there's this nice little ridge over at C, and the downside of that is that you have to peek out quite far in order to lay sufficient fire into B and potentially A. So that is also basically a lot of spots where you don't really want to be. But if you can get those caps and you can hold back, that definitely helps. Because then it's just a matter of holding and keeping the enemy from capping it. So if we get a tiebreaker, we get to go to Oasis Palms, which looks like this. You have base B in the city, you have base A more to the corner, and base C in the desert. I always find the positioning around C to be the most pleasant of all of them. But it will be up to the teams, and we've seen quite a bit of everything going A and B, or everything going C, but mostly they just tend to focus on the city side with at least one or maybe two medium or fast tanks overlooking base C. So with all of that in mind, we just have to wait for the room invite. In the meantime, I am starting up YouTube because there's a big delay on this stream, and that has everything to do with the fact that we don't want people to stream snipe. And this is how we do that. The room invite is up, so I'm gonna accept that real quick. I'm gonna get ready so that we don't miss out on anything. I'm gonna take away the map. You've managed to look at it long enough, I think. And that way you can't miss out on what happens in the battle. So we still have 4.5 minutes left to go, which is plenty of time. The teams are steadily gathering. We see Void almost ready. Oh, already completely ready. Though we might still see some changes because they have plenty of time to consider and reconsider what they are gonna do and where they're gonna go. Primal now also a complete team in the room. Not readied up yet. But we do see a lot of tier 10 tanks, so I think we might be seeing a few of these. We've seen them before. And there we go. First one to ready up is Enzyme in the Object 268. But like I said, we still have plenty of time before we actually go into a match. And we just have to be patient. This is one of the reasons that I dislike the epic long wait for the first round. I understand why, because you want to give people a chance to just gather and pick their tanks and talk over tactics, just a little bit more focus on being a team and all of that, get some last jokes out of the way and on voice and stuff. But it is quite long, and we generally see teams ready up well before then. We do see some changes on Void's side, but they are all completely ready up. Primal is now missing someone, but they're likely there, we just don't see them. Maybe they're deciding who gets to go. But we still have a few minutes. But we've seen some very interesting stuff in the last day, the last 24 hours I should say, because right now it is Sunday for me. And we've seen that on the Asian server we have TBT that went through as first, followed by TNNM, Low and XR. And they're going to be duking it out in 10 hours. So that's going to be fun. That's the first part of the final there. Then we have for the EU, we get RTK, we get Raid, we get Eros, and we get Easy. And they'll be starting to duke it out in, let me see if I can brain right, 17 hours I think. I'm so bad at this, especially at this hour. Braining is not an option. So with less than 2 minutes left to go, I am actually gonna read you the line out. We have Void with 2 AMX-50Bs, 3 Object 140s and 2 IS-4s. And we see Primal readying up with a Mouse, an IS-4, a 268, 2 AMX-50Bs and a Batchat, and potentially an E50M. Oh no, it's actually a VK. I haven't seen a VK all that much these matches. But it should be good fun. And we will see how they go, what they do and where they go. We still have just over a minute. Have to be a tiny bit patient still. And I'm just looking at these lineups and I quite like it. It's a nice mixture of armor and mobility and autoloaders. And those AMXs can basically wreck teams so fast if they focus fire and they manage to pen all the shots and all of that. That can be very, very evil. But also the threat of them, even if they're not getting a shot in, the threat of them being somewhere can be very influential. So we have 15 seconds left to go before we actually go into the battle. And here we go, the countdown clock. And let's go. He is speed in an IS-4. Okay. Whatever floats your boat. And and we see Void focusing primarily on the middle side of the map along with the seaside. We have the AMXs going after the mats, probably hoping to clip someone together. Where we have Batchat going in the middle for Primal and the rest of Primal focusing way more on the A side, with a little bit overlooking towards base B, probably to react quickly. Batchat has been spotted. Base C is being capped. Unique is retreating. And I think that is a good call, because Batchats are so juicy. But that does mean that Void now has a point advantage. They still have a base advantage. And we have the AMXs now moving in together with the mouse. But no one is there. They're playing it very, very carefully. We have the Object 140s, Object 140, and now the other one. Together with the AMXs heading towards their spawn. We see the first shots going in. 268 might be in trouble now. We see a blind shot going in. But there's no one there. Chipotle has been spotted. He is turning to face the enemy and going down to avoid enemy fire. And we have the AMXs turning around. Both teams have a base now. Base B is pretty much unprotected but also unwanted. And we have the 140s that are gonna push together with those AMXs, I believe. Or they're actually holding at the back. Chipotle might be in a lot of trouble there, but he has some nice teammates behind him. We see first shot going into right there. And they are playing it carefully. Tanner losing a bit of HP, but he's now moving in towards base B. But we have Coyote at the back there, and he might be able to decap it quite easy. But Tanner is focusing on that side, expecting someone to be there. He does manage to do some damage, but that does not stop him from capping. We have the AMX 50Bs here in the middle, and they are gonna make very short work of that 268. But we have an Object 140 that overextended, and now Reich and Samuel are also moving in. AMXs versus AMXs, but they are focusing on the 140s. They want to keep their teammate alive. There go the first two tanks. There goes Samuel as well. And now everyone is shooting everyone. AMX is following the 140 together with the Batchat. Cora turning around. And there goes Tanner. And basically Primal lost a ton of HP making this move. I don't think they were prepared enough. Reich almost reloaded. A7XO killing off the Object 140. But I don't think Reich will manage to kill him off before he gets killed. He doesn't. The AMX 50B Glory being shot. But basically it's now 1 versus 5. This is unlikely to survive. He does make a kill though. But with the point difference, the gun difference, A7XO is not gonna last. And there he goes. And the first game is for Void. And that was over relatively quickly. I think those two AMXs pushing did not work out for Primal. They got shot way too much trying to save their 268. And that didn't work out. So with a minute and a half left to go, we see Void already completely readied up with a somewhat different lineup. We have potentially 3 AMX 50Bs, but one might change now. No, we have 2 AMX 50Bs, 2 IS-4s, an IS-7, a mouse and a 268. And we see Primo that is now readied up with 2 mice, an IS-7, 3 AMX 50Bs and a 263. So that is a lot of firepower in a short amount of time. But then you have 3 tanks that have to reload for their clip. And that might not work out in their favor. But if they delete tanks like that, it could very well work out. So we have 45 seconds left to go. And we just have to wait a little bit patiently while the timer slowly heads towards 0 before we get the second match on Mayan Runes. And this is always, I would love it if there was just a button like, we are ready to go, and you just go and you don't have to wait the last remaining time for the countdown. 13 seconds left to go. We are all ready. There's no map on the screen. I am readied up. And here we go. Second match of the day versus Void on Mayan Ruins. Lots of different avatars, by the way. Not everyone is a pro, according to their avatar. So let's go up and away, and let's see what they do and where they go. We have the mouse starting in the furthest spawn away. That's the downside of not using any med. But they are quickly moving together. Everyone is heading towards base A and B. Base C is pretty much forgotten. And we have those AMXs that are going towards base A. But they are holding. We have the IS-7 already taking some damage. I think they were hoping for a cheeky B cap. But it is costing them quite a bit of HP to do so. But the IS-7 is now caught in the crossfire. And he is being nearly deleted. Oh my god. And there he goes. And that's one gun out of the equation already. Now they do have to reload, but they have the luxury to do so. And we have Reich moving more towards base A. Not necessarily to cap it. I think he's gonna get spotted there. We see some shots going into the mice there. The AMX is fully expected at the back by Coyote. Even Steven now also moving in. He does get spotted crossing there though. We see Tantan turning, ready to support the IS-4. A7XO has lost quite a bit of HP there. He's in trouble. And he's not gonna last much longer like that. Nice little bounce there though. Now they are capping base A. And that will give them even more of a point advantage. HP wise, it's not all that different, just about 1k. So anything can still happen. A7XO is basically in a position where he can't do anything. And it will be relatively easy for Void to take out that IS-7. We have the AMXs now turning, taking up a position where we would normally expect the TDs. But Primal has the point advantage. They don't have to take any risks. We have the mice both moving in. Ooh, that is costing them some HP. And we have Primal making a move now. And I'm not sure they should do that because they have absolutely no reason to do this. A7XO now getting rushed by the lone IS-4 in front of him. Shots happening all around. Cora being focused. They have to make sure they focus fire if they want this to work. A7XO just got deleted. There goes Cora. Tanner is losing a lot of HP. Chipotle is facing down the other mouse. Tanner is just continuing. There goes even Steven. There goes Tantan. And we're entering a full-on brawl. We have Glory now moving in. Coyote being focused. Reich almost reloaded. And there he goes. And now the mouse takes a hit. And now it is 5 versus 3. And those AMXs are making short work of pretty much anyone they meet. We have a mouse that is dropping himself onto Glory there. And now it is 2 versus 5. Rob is almost gone. And then we still have the mouse here. The other mouse having turned around to face him. But he's basically just holding him in place. The mouse can't angle against this many direction. He does get some nice bounces though. But not anymore. And Reich kills him. And the second game is for Primal. So now we move on to Rockfield. I'm gonna ready up and I'll show you the map real quick. This is what it looks like. Base B in the middle, protected from two sides but open to the other two sides. Base A that has the bunker. Base C that has the nice little ledge. Lots of crossfire positions possible. And we'll see what they do in a minute and a half. So I'm gonna take that away from you again so that it can't be on the map. On the screen, sorry. And we will see what they do and where they go. In the meantime, I'm repositioning my chat so that I can watch the YouTube chat a little bit. Because then, even though there's a 5-minute delay, I might actually be able to respond to some things if people say or ask anything. And we see Void readied up with 1, 2, 3, 4 IS-4s, 2 Object 140s and an E3. And we see Primal readied up with a Leo, an IS-4, 2 E50Ms, 2 Batchats and a 268. So that is a lot of speed. Combined with a big gun. And those Batchats can be so sneaky. But against 4 IS-4s that is not going to be an easy lineup. So it all depends on just the whole, where do they go, what bases do they get, who gets the advantage and who gets to hold. So 20 seconds left to go. And then we are ready. And we will see the third match in this lineup. And like I said, the matches tonight are gonna be great fun. And we've already seen that. Because this is a top 3 facing off against each other. At least on this stream. And that's just lovely. And here we go. And let's go up and away. We have Void going all the way to base A with all of them. At the back we see Unique heading towards the same direction, but the rest of Primal focusing on base C. Object 140 staying at the back in a position where he can spot. And I wonder if we're gonna see a cheeky B cap. But Primal is content to take holding position. Tantan being spotted going over. But he is using that bunker that I talked about to cap relatively safely. That was a nice little bounce. That one misses. Nice shot back, blind shot. Now Primal is taking base C, but Void will have a point advantage. We see some shots happening, but no one is camping from there. But both teams now have a base, but Void has a point advantage. But they're all pretty clustered together. We have A7XO that is pretty much ready to push into base B. And we see the rest of Primal moving around, possibly to go into positions where they can use his sacrifice. We have Unique at the back there. But not much is happening. Void pulling together more. Those at the back getting spotted by the Batchat. And there he goes. A7XO is making his move. And he is grabbing base B. And any shot that will be taken into him will cost them quite dearly. And it seems like he might be getting away. We see them rushing in. Ooh, but that is a big shot into the 140 there. And he is pulling back. It is costing him quite some health as well. Along with Tanner. And now he is... Ooh. He is being absolutely destroyed. And they are getting base B. But there goes Coyote Tango. Tantan almost killing A7XO. But they did get the base now. And that is not something that you want to see. Because now they just have to hold and survive. And they can safely pull back. Ghost Ranger almost dead. We have Glory going after the Batchat there. Tantan moving in. Primal is rushing. We see shots going in. Chipotle taking a hit there, going up. Glory hastily going down. We might be seeing some base A stealing. Glory taking care of A7XO. Ghost Ranger now dead. We have Primal pushing each other literally there. And they are now taking... they're not taking base A. They are just going straight through. They're gonna take out that E3. We see HP being bled. Batchat takes a hit, but there goes the E3. Samuel getting shot in the back by Cora. Glory taking a nice hit into the Leo there. Ghost Ranger talking about having ping issues. Katie focused on by even Steven and the Batchat. Batchat now gonna get hit in the back there. Cora in trouble. Batchat going off the Tantan. Bot bouncing. There he goes. And now it is 2 versus 6. And that is not looking good for Kate. They took the base back. And now they've also got all kills. And this game is for Primal. I like the way that they made the push with the E50Ms. Together with the Batchat and Leo just pushing up. And because of that rush into B, most of the tanks had gone down. And that gave Primal basically an advantage by pushing up. Because it would take too long for the rest of Void's team to get back up there. So in a minute and a half we got to go back to Rockfield to see the second match. We see Void still changing tanks a little bit. With 2 215Bs, 2 Object 140s, 2 268s and an IS-4. Potentially, 1 215B might still change. No, but we do get that lineup. And on Primal's side we see a 268, 2 IS-4s, 2 E50Ms, an E3 and a Batchat. So that's a little bit less mobility than the last match. I think this is more of a holding thing with the reaction speed that they might need of the E50Ms and the Batchat. So this is going to be interesting to see. Because Rockfield is a relatively small map, even with the lines of fire and everything. You can get shot from basically anywhere. Depending on where you are and where they are, of course. But there's not really... It is easy to chase tanks on this map. Because of the way that they will get spotted going pretty much anywhere. So in half a minute we get to go. And we get to see the third match between Void and Primal. Both teams equal in points at the moment. Actually, if I remember correctly, yeah, both have 10 points. And here we go. And let's go up and away. We see Void focusing on the A and B side again. Primal focusing more on the C side, but they will meet the 140s there. They won't have the domination on that side of the map that they had last match. Unique in a position to spot the 140 there. But he has to be careful. 140 also pulling back. E50Ms and the 268 holding at the back. Batchat losing quite a bit of HP there. And we have Void pushing in for base A. And no one really there to contend with them. Except for A7XO. And even Steven at the back. But they're not really in a position to decap this. So we have Chipotle moving in. But not really making a move. Trying to get a shot in. But they've already capped the base. So that's a bit too late. And now they have to be careful though, because they will need to get a base. Otherwise the point advantage will be going up in Void's favor quite quickly. We see the 268 repositioning himself, ready to shoot anyone that tries to take base C. That will be spotted by Odium there. Blind shot going into where they would expect him. 140 having been spotted, and now Void is also cheekily capping base C. And if they try to decap that, they will probably get punished by the 268. As we just saw. Shot going into where Unique is. Glory taking some damage there. And we see Reich going to take base B. They do have 2 bases now though, so the pressure is definitely on Primal to make a move to make this happen. Reich got the base, but it doesn't really matter because they still have 2 bases, so they will still have the point advantage and they will still have the base advantage. They need to steal a base somewhere. We have Odium moving more up to the middle, wanting to spot the 140. Ooh, Samuel just got a massive hit. Chipotle repositioning himself. But with Odium there, that might not really work out for him. Kate losing quite a bit of HP there. And both bases are being very well protected. That shot hitting the ground is actually very, very lucky. Even Steven taking some damage. Primal now stealing base A. But it's not gone without losing HP. It's not gone without risk. He is turning around. They need to get that base. They need to make this work. He is decapped by a massive shot in the rear from Glory. And that cost him way too much. Odium is gone, but A7XO is now basically left to his own devices. We have Glory that takes out the E50M. The Object 140 and Rob holding. Batchat moving in. 268 waiting for the juicy Batchat that is going after Cade. Both teams have lost 2 guns so far. The Batchat is not far behind. There he goes. And we hit 1k and the game is for Void. And look at the damage difference. That's not all that different. And I think that Void played this masterfully. The way that they moved and held base C like that. That was lovely. So we get to go to Oasis Ponds, the tiebreaker. And we see some amazing things on this map. So it will be fun to see what they do. And what weird tactics we're gonna see. Because we've seen people in the middle in positions where normally I would be afraid to get sniped to hell and it working out. And we see that Void has now completely readied up with 3 IS-4s, a mouse, a pattern and a 113 and an E3. And we see Primal readied up with an E3, 2 IS-4s, a mouse, a 268 and 2 Batchats. And we still have a minute left to go. Everyone is ready to go except for the game. I'm just making sure there is no map on the screen. I am readied up so we won't miss going into this battle, into the tiebreaker. Quite literally, because this will also determine who has a point more than the other team. Of course, after that, both teams still have a match. But this will be... it's pretty much the head-to-heads. Always break the tiebreakers. So in 20 seconds we get to see who gets the tiebreak on the point tiebreaker. But going after a map that we've not yet been to before, that can be quite tricky, I believe. But this is a map that has been around for a while. Both teams will have trained on it quite a bit. And they will both have their preferred tactics. And of course both these teams will be going to the top 4, that's no problem. But it's the position that we don't know yet. And here we go. And we see Glory focusing a bit on both sides. Both teams sending one fast tank to overlook base C. Batchat going into a tricky position there. But he does spot the pattern straight away. 113 is going after it. And the bat shot goes down to avoid getting shot. E3 taking a position where you might potentially shoot the bat shot there. Glory and the mouse being spotted. We have a bit of a standoff going on near A. Not much they can do there. Basically no base is uncontested. And no base will be easy to cap. Some fireworks going on, but no damage being done yet on either side. Glory taking a hit there. Not all that much HP lost. Rob having repositioned himself behind the ice force. And now the 113 is taking base C, or troll capping base C I should say. And I wonder if he's gonna get away with it. Because there's not really a camper in the right position to do anything about it. And they are letting it happen. And that means the pressure will be on Primal even more. Because they will need to have something happen to make it work. We have even Steven all the way at the back there. Primal pulling back. Potentially going for a rush in the desert, maybe. But at the same time, they are pulling back. They are going back to their spawn. So even if they rush, there won't be anyone to rush except for the pattern. And the mouse holding in the city. We have the Batchats now moving together with even Steven Rai going down the middle together with A7XO. Possibly to see what damage they can do in the middle here. Unique moving in. Going through the base. Both I4s have been spotted. Now the mouse capping base B. Coyote being pretty much hammered. But Unique also taking quite a bit of damage there. There he goes, first gone out of the equation, but now Void has all 3 bases, and that will not make it easy for Primo to take control back, even if they do get a free base C cap there. We have Reich. They are moving in, they want to get those tanks out of the equation. They have 1 base now, but Void has 2. Even if they has a gun less, they are rushing the E3 and the mouse, and that is a very good call. And Primal will have to move fast if they want this to work. There goes Glory. 10-10 going after the E3. Odium now out of the equation. E3 having turned around, that will be a massive hit into someone. Ooh, not even. Cade losing a ton of HP. Basically, Void has now lost 3 guns. Big shot going into the back of the E3 there. And Chipotle is capping base B, and base A is also being stolen. What a turnaround of a game this is. Absolutely awesome to see. Love it when they just pull things together like that, like it's coming out of their bum. Batchat going. They are getting all 3 bases. There's only 2 tanks left. It is 6 versus 2. Batchat taking a hit, but doesn't even care. And now the only one left is Tantan. And there he goes. Wow, what a game. And the point goes to Primo. So let's see if we have any results yet. We still have 15 minutes before the next game, so I will be able to show you 1 replay in between. I'm just gonna enter the scores real quick. Rain won van Von. And they won with a 3-0. And thanks to this lovely sheet that Brian made, it is very easy to keep track of scores. And to just enter all the games and see how they do and what they do. We have straight, then one from Pincer. Let me put that in as well. And they won 3-0. Because when I calculate all the scores in this sheet, it basically adds everything on its own, and I just have to watch numbers come by. And what happened with Hated? Hated lost to Rain Chaos with 1-3. So just entering that as well. Because of all the tiebreakers, all those points are mightily important. And let's see, and they won from Hated. So that is entered now. And that means currently we have Rain leading with 13 points, then Primal with 11, Void with 10. And we have Straight and Pincer now both with 5 points. And Rain Chaos with 7, so likelihood of seeing a Rain Chaos... Actually, no, it's pretty certain that they will be top 4, because it is impossible for Straight and Hated and Pincer to get 2 points out of one match. So basically the top 4 for an NA server is now already known. At the same time, exact positions aren't known yet. We could still have a tiebreaker between Primal and Void, but also that doesn't change matters much, because it will be in the final lineup. We will see Rain versus Rain, and we will see Primal versus Void. There's no avoiding that, so it doesn't even really matter who goes into second or third place right now. So I am gonna show you a replay. Let me find you a fun one. Let's see what I have for you. Let's see. What do I want to show you? I'm actually scrolling through a few that I already know. This should be fun. I'm gonna go for this one. And after that we will have to wait for the room. And this is a replay by our very own Dwarf. So we are loading in pretty late. There we go. First shots have already been taken. Schmaltum almost gone already. And Dwarf trying to decide what to do. We have the T-3485 at the back there. He needs some help. He definitely needs some help. And Dwarf is going in. First gun is out of the equation. Both TDs are moving in. Sue with the big gun. Ooh, that missed though. Nice tracking shot by the Spig, but he still gets absolutely deleted. You are stuck on a hill there, hun. Yeah, I agree. Emil at the back there. How did that pen? I have no idea. But it did work. T-3485. Nice little bouncing shot there. Emil now gone. T-3485 gone. Sue now spotted. Hitting the building, but Worf does not. And this is a nice little bit of aggressive gameplay. I quite like that. Nice. Good teamwork with the Sue. It is now 3 versus 2. That missed though. That tracking shot, no damage done. Smart Tomb decides he wants to die. Somehow survives that. But he is being focused. And again a tracking shot. I saw Yoda approve of my "it's coming out of their bum" comment, but that's mainly because, well, there are some things I can't say on screen, but you know that when that saying when they pull it out of there. There's just some sayings you can't avoid. And now he's fired. So now he's doomed. And there he goes. That was a nice little bit of aggressive gameplay. I like it. I like the whole working together. We actually still have time for... Well, actually no, we have 4 minutes about before the room invite is up, so I'm not gonna risk that. Instead, I'm going to go over the maps with you. First is Rain, which is the score leader at the moment. We have Canyon. Let me look that up. I have all the maps in this thing. Canyon looks like this. We have base E in the middle of some buildings. We have base B on top of a hill, which is basically inviting you to get killed whenever you try to cap it. And we have C in the upper right corner, but it's actually more upper right than it shows here on this map. And overall, this is quite a fun map. We've seen some really good matches on this map so far. And I like all the possibilities, all the ways that people can go here, what they can do, and where they can go, and what kind of team composition we will see. And the thing is, mainly I think the focus fire on this map is so important because there's so many positions where you can get shots from, and also the troll capping and all of that, especially the troll capping of base B, that can be so effective. So that is the first map. After that we are gonna go to Port Bay. Port Bay looks like this. You have base A in the harbor, base B in the square, and we have base C that is more into the hills. There's a big hill between C and B, but at the same time I always find it easier to have C and take B than to have A and take B. For some reason I just generally find that it's easier to keep the high ground than it is to take the high ground. Also, just to clarify about the gold on this account, this is a press account. It is not an actual account. I just saw someone comment on that. But yeah, this is the second map that we'll get. It is quite a fun map. We see quite some epic mouse and badchat action on this map. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more before the night is over. And as a third map, last map, we go to one of my favorite maps as a tiebreaker, which is Vineyards. This is what Vineyards look like. You have base A closest to the north spawn, base B close to the south spawn. Base C is actually further back into the town than it shows here on the map. And it's just... It is a difficult map, I think, to play. In randoms, I definitely have my preferred sides. But in a team battle like this, you have to dominate two bases. And that can be quite hard because one of those bases is very well protected from the spawn of your enemy. But we have seen some quite aggressive pushes that have kept people from capping the base closest to their spawn, even though those are quite protective. But there are a few angles where you can push up and just get shots in and make them hurt, basically. And there is the room invite. Let me just accept that. Come on. Game being a bit slow. And on the other side we see my co-commentator Rolling Swarm. Definitely sub to his channel as well, by the way. He is nearing 2k subs. It would be great if we can get him there. before the end of the tournament. And we see Primal steadily readying up, getting ready for Canyon. We still have about 4 minutes and 14 seconds left to go, so that's plenty of time for everyone to decide and redecide what they want to drive and where they want to go. And that's the only downside, just all this waiting. And I've already gone over the maps with you. It is still on the screen though. So I'm gonna take that away so that I can't forget. And so that you actually not have a map in half your game, literally. And we are basically ready to go. Some changes being made to Rain's lineup. And I'm gonna take a bit of a drink because all this talking is making my throat dry together with sleep deprivation. I think that's the right way to pronounce it. Dude, rude much? And we are just waiting. We still have a little less than 3 minutes left to go. No team is completely ready up yet. And let's see. Right now we see Primal with potentially a pattern, an IS4, a 268, 2 Batchet and 2 113s. And potentially Rain with the T95 E6. Oh, I love that thing. I want that so bad. I can't wait for it to get to the store. Potentially 4 113s and 2 Leos. That's a very interesting lineup. Can very easily say I haven't seen that. And now we have Primal completely ready up with little less than 2 minutes to go with that pattern IS4, 268, 2 Batches and 2 113s. And Rain is now completely ready up with an IS7, the T95 E6, 2 Leos and 2 113s. And actually there are 3 tanks that I really want in this game. We have the AMX 30B, but that came in crates, which I absolutely hate. Because the drop rate is only 2.5%, and even though people say, yeah, but if you buy X amount of crates, you should get it. It doesn't work like that. Even if the probability of you getting to that 2.5% actually gets higher, the chances of you getting the tank don't. Technically, with every crate you open, the drop rate is still 2.5%. So it's still only 2.5% chance that you will actually get it out of the crate. But the other 2 tanks that I'm waiting for are the T95 E6 and the T22 Medium. I have quite a lot of gold saved up on my main account on the EU server just to get those tanks when they hit the store. So we have 45 seconds left to go. We are ready. And we just have to be a little bit patient. Well, only half a minute though. It's not that bad anymore. "20 seconds left to go. Less than that now. Luckily, time is passing by quite quickly. I'm not sure what else to talk about aside from I hate crates, I want tanks. I just hope that when the T95 E6 and the T22 come, it will be for a set price of gold and not in crates. Especially not when the drop rate is as awful as 2.5%. That's even worse than the, what was it, 4% drop rate of the Chieftain MK6? And here we go, let's see what happens. Mo wishing good luck there. Even Steven heading towards base C, he's going to meet quite a bit of opposition there. T95 E6 is going to be... Ooh, it's a 10th birthday. Base A being kept quite securely behind the building there. T95 E6 holding at base B. Rain now capping base C. And we have Tenor arriving at base B, and he has to be careful there because there's so many shots possible from base C into base B. But Rain is putting back a nice misses and bounces going on. No HP being lost yet. But Primal does have a slight point advantage. Because they capped the base a little bit earlier. We see Primal holding around here. But not really getting any shots in. Nice position for the T95 E6. Some blind shots happening. Well, not really blind shots. Hated Fate has been spotted there. Ooh, and now Tenor does take a hit. Like I said, quite some crossfire possible from base C into base B. We have Tenor turning around and turning around again. Wanting to keep people spotted. But he has to be careful not to overextend. T95 E6 taking some damage now. We see Mo moving in. Basically, I think Rain is going for a bit of a rush. A7XO in the IS4. Taking a shot there. Ooh, he's now in trouble. Rain pushing over. Basically, A7XO is now completely doomed. Leo does take a ton of damage going over there, though. That bounce on the T95 E6. Both Tenor and A7XO are in trouble. Bases are being exchanged. Reich is moving in. There goes A7XO. Not much they can do about that. Tenor is retreating. Reich taking his position. And the point advantage is now for Rain because they took out A7XO. People being spotted. But basically it will be up to Primal to make a push now. And they want to attack that T95 E6. Leo and the 113 holding at the back. Primal repositioning themselves. The Batchats moving away. They will have to play it securely. We are nearly at 700 points. So they can't wait too long to make a move. But they don't know where everyone is. Especially the 113 and the Leo there are very nicely hidden. The Batchats holding at the back, but no one is coming there. We have Chipotle moving in. Some shots happening. But no damage being done. Chipotle pulling back. Reich moving in. Together with Samuel. We see Leo losing HP. TJ. Now base A is being stolen by the Batchats. And I wonder if they're gonna get away with it. Tenor is almost dead. They are focusing on Tenor. And he misses! That is quite vital. Now the T95 E6 is coming. He is gonna kill Tenor, but TJ just died. There he goes. Primo stole the base. They have the HP advantage. They have a point advantage. They have a base advantage. But Unique has to be careful there. The 113 moving in. Now base A is being stolen back, but there goes Unique. Point advantage is very close. They want to take out that Leo. There he goes. Batchat running away. Chipotle dying. And it's all about the focus fire. It's all about who takes out the tanks now. It is 3 versus 4. Primal has a point advantage. There he goes. There goes Mo. It's 3 versus 3. Batchat in trouble, but running away. He has to be careful though. He has to use the rock. We have Fishy and the Leo moving in. Samuel almost dead. It can still go every which way. There goes Samuel. And it's all about who they kill now. The Batchat has to stay safe. He just has to survive. And he not drive into buildings. Oh my god, that could have cost him the game. That was a very vital hassle against... with the Batchat against the building. He might still do it. If he just survives. If he manages to get that kill. But he doesn't. And the game is for rain. Oh my god, that Batchat can probably shoot himself right now. Because if he hadn't been driving into the building right there, they would have had this game. They would have won it. Oof. And that means that the first game is for rain. I like the build-up of this game, the way that it was just moving. And then the rush came, and it almost worked. And we have Primal now ready in two AMX-50Bs, an IS-7, a 268, a 113, a Patton, and another 113. And we see Rain readying up with 3 113s, a 268, 2 Batchats, and actually another 268. But we might still see some changes. Not entirely sure. People are readying and readying up again then. And we get more 113s. It's actually just a change up. So we have 3 113s, 2 Batchats, and 2 268s. Versus 2 AMX-50Bs, an IS-7, a 268, 2 113s, and a Patton. And we've seen what those AMXs can do. But the 113s perform so well as well. And we have just half a minute left to go before we go into the match and into the game. In the second game of this line, of this matchup. And we just have to be patient a tiny bit longer. And with the game being so close just now, I'm very curious to see how this will go. And here we go. And let's see what happens. This is a pretty funky camo. It looks really good. And let's go up and away. Let's see where they go. We have Primal focusing primarily on base C with a little bit to the middle and a little bit to the camping position, I believe. Nice little spot there. Base A being capped. Wonder if we're gonna see a blind shot into it. He shoots at the building. That is very nicely done. Because his royal fatness was not there. And we're gonna have a shootout here. A lot of 113s versus a lot of 113s and IS-7. But Primal is losing quite a bit of HP. Reich almost gone. And there goes Reich, first tank out of the equation. That is quite an aggressive push from the 113s. But it obviously works. We have Chipotle moving in. They want to take the 268 out of the equation. But it does mean that they might be losing a lot of tanks in the process. There goes Fishy. Apropenda now being focused. Unique has been taken out. Apropenda almost. A7XO in trouble. Losing a ton of HP here. AMX still reloading. One AMX still has a shot left. There goes Apropenda. A7XO is just quick to follow. And basically, they've lost a ton of guns. And Tanner is now getting shot quite quickly. I don't know why he was looking that way. And this is just, it is 5 versus 2. This is definitely going to be a Reigns game. Especially with that bounce that was very vital. Chipotle still alive somehow. And bouncing. And now it's just a bottle with 16 HP, and there he goes. And that is one of the quickest matches I have seen. And the point is for Rain. That was a very aggressive little game. So short. Look at that, just over 2 minutes. So now the pressure is definitely on Primal, because if they want this point, they will have to win every match from now on. Whereas Rain has 3 matches to win just 1 match. And we see Primal almost completely readied up. Except for potentially the Yege. Same thing happening on the other side. And we have Rain now completely readied up. Oh, not even. Just stop on readying, thank you. We see 2 IS-4s, an AMX 30B, potentially 2 Leos, an E50M, and a grill. Whereas on the other side, we see a T57 Heavy, 2 IS-4s, a Mouse, a Yege, a 268, and an IS-7. And that is an interesting lineup, because I think we will be seeing some actions around the harbor then and in the city. Because a Yege is not really a tank you can take to the med side easily, because it might definitely get punished there. But this is a tank we haven't seen all that much in these tournament matches. So that's going to be fun to see what they do with it. At the same time, it was my very first tier 10 tank. I absolutely adore it. And I love the sound of the gun. And it can be so incredibly troll, and it packs a wallop when it shoots. So basically it can be very effective, but we will have to see what happens. We are entering the countdown clock now at 10 seconds. We are ready to go. And here we go. So like I said, pressure is definitely on Primal to win this one if they want to get the point. Though for the whole score thing, it doesn't really matter anymore. Because like I said, we know that they are in the top 4. And that they are either place 2 or place 3, and it doesn't really matter which. We have Rain pushing for the corner. With a little bit at base A as well. And most of Primal pushing into the city. With a nice position into... The Leo has been... There we go, a little bit of HE. But now they probably know where the Yege is. Not much fireworks going on, but the Leo is not capping base C again. Wise move. With the Yege almost reloaded. That IS-4 there is just there to spot whoever wants to go into base C. That is very troll. Dragon Creek holding behind the building there, ready for anyone trying to push into base A. Mo pretty much in a similar position. Not much else happening. IS-4 moving in. I think that's a very dangerous move, especially since those two at the back. And that might cost him quite a bit of HP to do this. He does spot the AMX 30B. Leo taking shots. He is pulling back, but he's on his own, and that might be very costly. He now takes a bit of damage. He is waiting to get the shot in. Yet at the same time, they're all a little bit afraid to move in. Now he wasted a shot though, so he's gonna take another hit. And they think that Yege is still there. Yege is repositioned, but they don't know that yet. And basically he now has to pull back. He is losing way too much HP, but he has 3 tanks to contend himself with, 4 if you count the one in the corner. Which means that Primal is free to cap base A, and they should be rushing these two. But they're not. And of course they have some support at the back there in the form of the grill. Rijk now pushing in. Capping cheekily. I think we're gonna see some grill shots now. It's actually Dragon Creek that takes a shot. For some reason, I was just gonna say he's still alive, but now he's not. Reich pulling back a little bit, losing a bit of HP. But Primal does have a base, captured by the mouse. And the AMX 30B is now getting shot a little bit. Primal moving in together with the mouse and IS-4 and the T-57 Heavy. Jäger following together with the 268. Reich basically being given up. But Primal has already lost the gun. And that is not a good thing. Because this is going to cost them way much. Mouse now taking base C. In a position where he is getting shot at. And it is panning. He's showing way too much of himself. There goes Reich. And now Primal has lost 2 guns. And I think we can already pretty safely say that this match will be going to Rain. With the way that they have 2 guns more and they are now capping Primal's base. T-57 Heavy moving in. Shots being taken at the 30B there. B not yet being spotted, being capped, but now basically Tanner is in a lot of trouble. The Jäger moving in, even Steven. But I'm not sure it's going to be there in time. Nice big hit there, but it won't do enough to save Tanner. There goes Tanner. Jäger trying to shoot him, but Dragon Creek avoiding that. So he shoots Dragon Creek instead, but at the same time, it is 6 versus 3 now. And every shot is vital, so that bounce is very costly. If he just waited a split second longer, he could have done more damage. 2 versus 6. It is not looking good for Primal, even if they have 2 bases. And now it's 1 versus 6. Time for an epic Kolobanov. But the chances of that happening are pretty low. He does manage to kill one though. But the chances of this going right. And there we go. The point is for Rain. And that just didn't go as expected for Primal. Especially that first match though. With the building and the bad chat. Oof. So let's see what we have. Let's see, where do we go? Rain has won literally all the games that they had. That is quite epic. So very much kudos to them. And then we have Void. Let's see what happened there. We don't know yet. Straight. Let's see what happened there. If it loads, because that would definitely help. Also still going. We have Pincer. Well, that was also still going actually. We saw that they're against Void. And this is also still going. So I'm going to show you another replay while we wait for the scrolls to roll in. Let's see what we have. They should be fun. It's on a map we've recently been to as well, which I quite like. Again, pretty camo. It works on this tank as well as it did on the AMX 50B. And it is Supremacy. I generally would agree with him. I generally like to go there as well. So let's see what happens. People being spotted. But so is he, so he has to be careful now. He's just wanting to see if anyone goes over the train tracks there. M60 there. Mouse pushing over. You can still safely shoot here, even if you're spotted. That bounce though. E5 now pushing over. And that is the snow that he hit, but the E5 was also behind the building, so that wouldn't have done anything. Base A being kept. Aim carefully. Nice. Trick shots like that are just so fun, but you have to aim carefully, and this is one of the places where I would disable my auto aim, mainly so I can know that I shoot through the tracks without him throwing off my aim by moving. Nope. Denied. And he kinda has to make a move now. His team has to make a move, to be honest, not just him. M60 moving in again. And our object is quite hesitant, but there goes the E75, which gives him a bit more leeway to peek on over. But he doesn't. He is instead turning around, potentially to try and shoot that Jagdtiger. Base C now also being kept. The pressure will definitely be on. Ooh, that was a rock. Will be on his team. M60 having changed positions. Nice little tracking shot here. And he's going in straight on after, which I think is a good call. He does take a hit though, he has to be careful not to lose too much HP trying to... Exactly what I meant. Nice kill. But now he is definitely in a lot of trouble. Ooh. Dude. This is costing you quite a bit of health. I can't believe he's still alive, to be honest. He should, by all accounts, be very, very dead. Especially with the M60 behind there. There he goes. But he is still alive with a whopping 11 HP. We have the E5 here. And he's not even being careful, he's just rushing straight on in. Nice cheeky shot there. There we go, E5 out of the way. It is 5 versus 2. That was a cheeky kill. We are 4k damage in, by the way, guys. IS-4 there. Nice little shot. He has to be careful not to get shot because, well, like I said, he has 11 HP left. He's very HEable. He could even be bumped into and he would die. And now he's just waiting, and that's, I think, a very good call. Nice. I like that he's taking a little bit of time to aim to shoot the more juicy parts. And now it's basically a free-for-all. The guy is showing his flank. Now tracked as well. 5.3k damage. I wonder if he's gonna get it. Ooh, 1 HP. Are you kidding me? Waffle not happy. But oh my god. Surviving with 11 HP for quite a while. That was quite awesome. 5.6k damage. A very nice game. 1k spotting damage. So let's see what else have we got. Do we know all the points yet? Do we have a result yet? No, we do not. So that's going quite into a few games. Probably at the 5th match now, I would say. Thereabouts. Straight run from Rain Chaos. So let's see where that leaves us. With a 3-0. So I'm just going to enter that in the sheet. That, like I said, it's not really making any difference anymore. But still. Hate it. What are they doing? Still up against Von. That's also entering the 4th or 5th match now, I think. So I can show you one more replay for tonight. Before we should have a result. Let's see. I am gonna go for... He actually sent in another replay. I'm gonna go for the one in a tank that I really like. This was actually my 2nd tier 9. And I'm quite fond of it. Again, with the camo, it looks good though. Loading in a little bit late apparently. There we go. And we are taking a camping position. That's less fun. Don't camp. It's not needed. Especially in the 704. Come on. Ooh, especially when they look like that. And then you miss because you exit sniper mode and you didn't aim properly. Why? E100 moving in. He is gonna hit that, I think. Again, why exit sniper mode when you're shooting? Because that's making your aim go off. Patton coming in here. And that is a tracking shot. Oh my god, he does get pretty much hammered though. Poor Patton. And he's just standing there wondering what the hell. He doesn't even seem to know what the fire button is. Oof, that Patton. So let's see what else we got. Who's gonna be there? He has a friend behind him that has lost quite a bit of HP. And we are going back into the camping position. If you're ever wondering how to play the 704, this is not it. No, you can't shoot people all the way over there. There you go, YOLO wagon. There's a few rocks behind you, in case you're wondering. And he is moving in. Shots being fired. Nice. This is the fun part. He has to move a lot as well. He takes a shot into the Death Star though. And that basically means that our guy could have him. There we go. Death Star almost dead. Death Star now completely dead. It is 4 versus 4. But they have a definite point and base advantage. E100 arriving. That missed though, by the E100. And he is on his own versus the E4 and the E100. Nice. And I think this is where people would really wish to have adrenaline. We have the E4. He can't really do much. He is going to lose a lot of HP for this though. And we're already at 1k. There we go. Another 5 seconds bolt. 4k damage, 3 kills, lots of camping. And the E100 survives and so does our 704. 1.5k spotting damage, nice. But yeah, 704 is not a tank to play at the back in my opinion. It is Stroll, it is relatively fast, it can do so much more. Void seems to have taken it home versus Pinsir with a 3-2. So let's look at that. We have Void versus Pinsir, they got the point. With a 3-2, like I said. So we are steadily filling in all the scores for the points. Even though it does not really matter. Let's see if this is over yet. 3-2 for Hated. Oh, I think that means that Hated has their first point. Aww. At the very last match of the round robins, Hated gets a point. I quite like that. And that means that the definite top 4 for the NA server are Rain with 14 points, Primal and Void both with 11 points, and let's see their head-to-heads. Primal won the second one, Void won the first one. They have the same amount of victories, so we don't know the exact thing yet, because I believe that the last option there is that they look at the time of the battles, and I'm assuming that the one with the shortest battle time will actually win. But Wargaming didn't really define that. They just said that the one with that they will be looking at the time now. So that is it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the gameplay. It was definitely epic games. Lovely to see. Lovely the way that some things got turned around, and sad to see the Batchat drive into the building, because that would have been an epic conclusion to that battle. But overall, these were fun games. I know I had definitely fun watching them. I hope you had fun with that as well. I will be back tomorrow in, let's see if I can brain right, in 8 hours and 40 minutes thereabouts for the first stage of the finals for the Asia server. Then at 8 PM CEST tomorrow, well, today for me actually, I will be back to stream the EU first stage of the finals, and I will be streaming the NA first stage of the finals tomorrow as well. So that is it for tonight. I wish you all a very good night, and I'll be seeing you next stream. Goodbye!